Hey everyone, it's Melissa here from Rooted Home and Garden. Today we are in my backyard where we're going to be working on my grapevine. We're going to be doing winter pruning. Now the reason we want to make sure we do winter pruning for our grapevines is grapevines grow so vigorously that it's something you really do have to keep up with all the time. Otherwise it's going to become a jumbled mess, and that's something you don't want to deal with. So we are here where I actually have 4 grapevines in my backyard, and I just live in a regular backyard. As you can see, that I have my chicken coop right here. I have 2 grapevines on the chicken coop and 2 on this farm style fence, one on this side and one on that side. Now this is my chicken coop garden. I have a grapevine right here. It's actually a red grape here, a red grape on this side of the fence as well, and I have 2 green grapes growing on my chicken coop. So I have one on the left side and one on the right side as well. I planted this grapevine last spring, so it is a 1-year-old baby grapevine, and I don't expect to get fruit this year, but you never know, so I am going to actually prune it as if I anticipate to get fruit. All right, so as you can see here, this is actually the stem of the grapevine. So I have it planted right here, it goes up here, then I have it split right here, and a branch is going in that direction, and this branch is going this direction. These are actually called cordons. I'm not going to be using a lot of these terms just because it's a little confusing, and I know that for myself, when I'm learning something, the correct terminology, the better, just to the point. So that's how I'm going to do it. So these are just the branches that go to the sides, the cordons, and right here these are called spurs. And the spurs, this is where the fruit is going to come from. So these are actually quite important. I know right now they kind of look scraggly, but they're actually very important because this is, like I said, where the fruit are going to come on. So these ones are off of the side branches, the cordons. Now I am growing grapes for 2 reasons, and the reason one is I want it because it's aesthetically pleasing. I want it to look beautiful in my yard, and so that's reason number 1. Reason number 2 is I want fruit. My family and I, we love grapes, which is why I planted 4 plants. I want an abundant harvest is what I want. And so those are the 2 reasons why I'm growing it. Those 2 reasons in mind, it is going to depend on how I actually trim this. Now, what I am really wanting is fruit that is big and lush, so I want to get the most from it. That makes sense, yes. In order to get the most out of my plant, I want to make sure that I'm training it correctly and training it right so I actually get the most. Now, like I said before, these spurs, this is where the fruit comes from. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut back. Let me get closer. Do you see these little bumps right here? These bumps are actually called buds. This is where the fruit will actually grow from. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all of these spurs down to 2 buds. Now you can actually cut them down to 3 buds. I don't have a very mature plant right now, so I'm just going to do 2 buds for now. Maybe in the future I will continue to do 3. If you have a mature plant, you can absolutely cut it at 3 because you actually get fruit from the first 3 buds of all the spurs. Everything else is just energy. So the reason why we want to trim this plant is because we want to make sure all the energy is actually going where it needs to go, and where we want it to go is into the fruit. So I'm going to be trimming this up, not letting it get wasted on stuff that we don't really need. So that's why we're trimming it up, just because we want that growth on the fruit. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go around through all the spurs and I'm going to cut them down to 2 buds. So all these spurs, every single one of them, I'm just going to cut them off up to 2 buds, and then we will worry about eliminating. All right, so for example, this is the first one right here. I'm going to find the buds. Where are they? So there's 1, 2. So I'm going to trim it right here. And I'm done. Okay, here is another spur. So we're going to trim up 1, 2, and I'm going to cut it right here. And we're going to do that all the way down until we are done. And then what we're going to start doing is eliminating spurs that really are not helpful to us. So again, here we go. So there's this one, 1, 2. I'm going to cut it right here. Cut. Again, 1, 2, and cut. 1, 2, and cut. We're just going to keep going. 1, 2, cut. Okay, so this looks like something that took its own situation here. So we're actually going to cut this again, find those 2 spurs, 1, 2, we're going to trim it right here and get rid of this branch. Oh, it's a big one. I really just let that one go. See how quickly things go, and it wasn't even an overgrown plant. Wait till we get to the chicken coop garden. That's the one that's really overgrown. All right, so we went through, got rid of we cut all the spurs up to 2 buds to make sure that we can get a nice harvest. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we have a 6-inch or 4 to 6 inch spacing between each spur. And really, we don't want more than, there's Gus, he always likes to be here when I'm working, but we really want to make sure that we don't have more than 6 spurs per branch. Okay, let me say that one more time. No more than 6 spurs per branch. Now I have a branch right here. This is branch 1, and that's branch 2. So each one, this one has 6 spurs, and this one will have 6 spurs. And truly, if you are actually going to have more branches, you can have up to 4 branches on one grapevine. So if I choose to in the future, I could actually cut this all the way down here and actually let it branch out here and let it branch out here and actually have 4 branches and let it grow up and grow to side. And that would be 4 branches that this one plant can have, and that's totally fine. I didn't do that last year because I was really excited with how tall it was getting, and so quickly when I planted it that I just decided to let it do this. But if in the future I decide to do that, it's no big deal. I could totally cut it down right here and let it branch out down below and then regrow the top and let it grow out to the top. And I would lose probably only 1 growing season, and that's it. No big deal. All right, so what I'm going to do now, though, is we're going to go through and we're going to eliminate any spurs that are kind of dinky and small. Like this one, for example, is pretty small in comparison to this one or this one. And we really want anywhere between 4 to 6 inches between spurs. And again, don't forget, we want to make sure that there's only about 6 on each branch, on each cordon. Okay, so that is why I had us just trimming off. That way they're all correct right now. You can go ahead and do the eliminating first if that's how you choose. But for me, I feel like it's better if I do all the trimming now, and then I can really assess, okay, which spur do I want to keep? We want to keep the strongest ones. We want to keep ones that are growing in the direction we want it to grow. Yeah, like these ones, they're really spindly. So to me, those are not good ones. This is a great one. This is a great one. So I think these 2 in between are probably going to be the ones to go. We're going to eliminate them. These ones are looking pretty good. This one I did not cut recently. I must have accidentally messed that one up and cut it before, because that would have been a good one. So if over here I have this one, I'm going to keep 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Well, I don't know, I'm showing about 3 on that side. So let's go look on this side that I'm seeing. Okay. So again, we have about 1, 2. Actually, this is a spur that can go as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Once again, if you mess up, it's no big deal, because next year you will have a new set. So grapes are very forgiving that way, so don't worry. So I definitely am going to keep this one. I think this is a good one. It's heading in the right direction that I want it to be. And I love this one. This one is super strong, super sturdy, excuse me, and it's going straight up. So I am going to eliminate this one, and I'm going to eliminate this one. This one's another good one, but it's awfully close to this one. So I don't think I'm going to keep this one, but let me just keep looking and see if I see any others that are doing well. I mean, this one, for example, this is pretty spindly. Not liking that one very much. And these ones are just very small. I didn't cut these today. I don't know if I cut them a couple of months ago or what. I don't know what happened there. But looks like I cut off a couple of spurs that I could have kept. So again, my bad, but no big deal. Next year, this season they will grow. And then next year I can cut them again and make it work. So I'm not too concerned about that. But I think right there is pretty good. I think I am going to leave this one, even though this is only, what, 3 inches away from each other. I am going to leave it just because I do want an extra set of fruit, if I get one this year. Now let's walk over to the other side, to the other branch, to the other cordon over here. And once again, I don't have very many as well, but this is a great one right here. I love that one, so I'm definitely keeping this one. I am definitely keeping this one. And you know what? I think that's great. I think that this one is done. All right, so that's that. That was quick and easy and fun. It wasn't too hard at all because it's such a baby plant, and I really made sure that I did not let it overgrow over the year last year. So, and that really makes a big difference. If it's a jumbled mess, if you have tons of branches coming out of this, then you're going to want to really go through again. Like I said, you want only about 4, no more than 4, because all the energy is going to go into all those branches to keep up with the plant. We really want our energy to go to the fruit. All right, guys, I hope you found this helpful, and stay tuned for more videos about learning about how to do things in the garden. All right, see you next time. Bye.